Over the past few days, my fiance has been telling me about this case she's been following. And she said, "Have you heard about this case? This case of this teacher who was shot by their student and is now suing the assistant principal?" And I said, "Yeah, I actually saw that in the news, but for whatever reason, just kind of skipped over it and had decided I wasn't going to talk about it. But here I am. Things have changed. And this case of Abigail Zwerner is much bigger than I realized. And it's been making headlines for over a week now, but it dates back to 2023. And I'm a little late, on all of this, so I don't have all the facts and details, but I kind of want to fill you guys in on this and get your thoughts because maybe you have heard about this and know more information than me. But so I want to just take a look at least one article here. And this is from BBC.com. The headline reads, "I thought I was dying. Teacher shot by 6-year-old student testifies against school administrator." This is from 6 days ago. Today is November the 5th. So, yeah, about a week ago that this really started catching in the news. So this article says a former Virginia school teacher who was shot by a 6-year-old student 2 years ago took the stand for an emotional day of testimony at a civil trial against a school administrator. Abigail Zwerner was seriously wounded and ended up having multiple surgeries. "I thought I was dying. I thought I had died," she testified. "I thought I was on my way to heaven or in heaven, but then it all got black." Miss Warner filed a $40 million lawsuit against the former assistant principal of the school, Ebony Parker, saying Miss Parker failed to act when she was allegedly warned that the young boy may have brought a gun to school that day. Miss Parker's lawyer said she could not have known what would happen. In January of 2023, the child fired a single shot at Miss Warner as she was teaching her first grade class at Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia. The bullet went through her hand and into her chest. "The look on the student's face is the large memory that I had," Miss Warner said. Miss Parker is accused of being warned of the gun some 45 minutes before. So, what is being alleged here is that the assistant principal was told that, the student might have a gun, and that the assistant principal acted in negligence and just basically disregarded these warnings. And eventually, as you saw in that article, the teacher was injured and thought that she was dying. So this is a pretty interesting case because, there are lots of points being brought up. And, the issue here is school safety. Who is responsible? Because, what is being said here is that, well, let me just pull up some of the additional articles. So I have here, let's take a look here. All right, let's get an article from, here we are. All right. So this is on MSN, as you can see. Defense expert testifies. Ex-assistant principal met standards in teacher shooting case. So we're looking at what should have been done. So let's take a look at this. An expert for the defense in the $40 million lawsuit filed by a former Virginia elementary school teacher shot by a 6-year-old student with a history of disciplinary problems testified Monday the assistant principal did not breach professional standards or act with indifference. Former assistant principal Ebony Parker is accused of ignoring red flags that might have averted the 2023 shooting. Dr. Amy Klinger, an expert in education administration and school safety, said it would have been difficult for anyone to foresee the incident. Lawyers for the teacher, Abby Zwerner, rested their case last week and the defense rested Monday. The civil trial could set a precedent for holding school officials accountable for gun violence on campus and comes ahead of Parker's criminal trial next month on 8 counts of felony child neglect. So, there are a lot of variables at play here. There is the issue of who is responsible for school safety, because it is being claimed that what school safety is a responsibility of everyone on campus. It's not just the assistant principal. There is the issue of students with disciplinary records. You know, what should be done with these students? Should there be stricter guidelines and restrictions and ways of handling students who have a history of disciplinary issues? There's just a lot in this case, and like I said, I don't know all the details. This is kind of all fresh on my mind because I haven't been following this like my fiance is, or like some of you out there might be. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. And I just wanted to make this video to fill you in on this, just in case you haven't been following this. Check it out for yourself. I'm definitely going to be reporting back on this and, as the case unfolds, because it is pretty interesting. And again, it probably will set a precedent for, who is responsible, and, if something goes down, is it the administrator's responsibility? If school violence occurs, we have seen tremendously in the past few years, especially after COVID, after 2020, the rise in violence with deadly weapons on school campuses. And, is it time to hold administrators accountable for those types of incidents in some way? And that's pretty scary, I would think, for administrators, knowing that, well, is the law going to be stricter on me in the future if these things occur? And do I need to step up my game as far as investigating and looking into these incidents? It's just, I don't know. And like I said, I want to hear your thoughts on this. So leave a comment down in the comment section below. What do you think about this case? Have you been following this case? And in general, what are your thoughts? What are the things that I missed in my just basic coverage here today? And what should I look into? Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this kind of content. It helps me out here on YouTube. And yeah, that's all I have for you this time. I will see you in the next one.